Let's talk about family dynamics and how they shape you as an adult. That sounds better. Okay, so welcome. We're here. Episode 2. Cool. Dude, I feel pressure. That should be like a whole episode in itself. I don't want to keep pressuring myself to say something interesting. I do want to talk about something that's been really bothering me, though, and something that I'm noticing. Lately, I've been feeling very insecure. I'm noticing I get defensive. I'm noticing I don't have patience. I see that today, Junior, I'm noticing I just don't feel good. I feel awful. I'm noticing these tendencies that I have, and I've noticed them before, but it's one of those things where you notice it and like, oh, that's really bad. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh, I need to work on that. I need to work on that. And you kind of just forget. I'm not trying to be complicit. I'm not trying to like just not work on things. I literally just fucking forget. And it's, yeah. I'm here right now. I need to hold myself accountable. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I really hate the way I should stop saying hate. That's so awful. I don't want to be mean to myself, but I also want to, no, I feel angry. I feel fucking angry. I'm mad at myself. I hate that I deal with certain things the way that I do. And a lot of it stems from how I grew up. At least I believe so. I'm not blaming, like, I'm not like a full grown ass man thinking like, oh, I'm blaming my parents for shit. Oh no, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. But I do feel so the way I am now is because of how I was raised growing up. Not even, I don't think that's the right way to put it. So I guess I could just take it back to the beginning. Growing up, I lived with my mom and my dad and my older brother. There was 4 of us. Like when I was younger, like a toddler, we did have my 2 older brothers living with us from my dad's previous marriage, but I don't really remember much of that time. I don't remember much of them being there, like when they left. I don't remember a lot of that time at all. So what I do remember and what I feel like is the time that really shaped me is growing up with just like the 4 of us, my parents and my brother. So with my family, growing up with my dad, I feel like a lot of my insecurities and the reason why I'm so on edge with people and why I cater to people's emotions, or why I feel like I need to cater to people's emotions. My fucking Alexa. Sorry. Ah. The reason why I feel like I need to cater to people's emotions, why I'm so emotionally aware of myself and others, why I am so, why I overthink things a lot too. Also, why I'm just so physically and emotionally self-conscious. I think that comes from a lot from my mother. My parents' relationship in my mind was extremely unhealthy. Extremely unhealthy. I don't think my father was ready to be in a relationship. I don't think he was ready to have children. And I think it's very obvious. I mean, here I am now literally having a podcast talking about mental health and shit. I'm in therapy. I'm trying to like undo and cleanse the water. I'm literally a fucking Brita filter trying to cleanse the trauma and shit. It's not. I don't know. It's cringe. Okay. But the relationship between my parents was very, very tumultuous, very, very toxic. My father had the tendency to cheat a lot, and my mother was extremely insecure. My mother and my father got together when they were when my mom was very young. There is a 10-year age gap, and my father is my mom's first everything. And when I mean everything, like first partner, first relationship, first everything, if you know what I mean. There's this really weird attachment that I think is present. And more context about my mom too is my mom's a fucking sweetheart. My mom is probably the kindest, most purest hearted person you will ever meet. And I could not say enough good things about her. However, I feel like she's also a walking trauma bomb. I don't know. She's like the living embodiment of like somebody who's just completely broken and really sad to the core. But I have the most deepest understanding of my mom and her traumas in her life, and I know who my mom is to a T, and I love her regardless. Irregardless, I love her regardless, and I don't blame her for any of this. I don't blame her for the person that I am now. I mean, I'm here. I know what I'm doing, or I try to at least. I'm not perfect. Anyways, with the relationship, my dad was he was very emotionally and physically abusive. So growing up seeing I think it's so sad and so common to see your parents to be in such an unhealthy and toxic dynamic. And of course, as a child, you're watching this dynamic unfold, and then you're getting older and you're trying to figure out like, your own sense of self. I'm trying to like discover who I am. I'm coming into my sexuality. I'm coming into my interests. I'm coming into me, like the core of who I am. And I'm seeing my mom have to walk on eggshells around my dad, having to emotionally cater to him to make sure that he's okay. Listening to her give excuses for him, like, oh, it's because he's diabetic. That's why he's so grumpy all the time. Or, oh, he just had a long day. That's why he's so mad all the time. He has a short temper, trying to downplay it, trying to excuse it. And not only that, my mom trying to overcompensate because she was aware that my dad was very not present. Like, aside from like my dad just being an awful, dad, he just wasn't awful partner. I mean, he just wasn't present for us, for me and my brother. I mean, I would say, to be fair, he was a good supporter when he was working. He had a warehouse job and he was a very great supporter. We were never homeless. We were always fed. Like, look at me. Like, I'm a big boy. Of course I was fucking fed. Um, but like, of course we were taken care of. We were taken care of. While I give my dad credit for that, my mom she felt the need to overcompensate. So this also, in my opinion, really stunted my growth as an adult and as a person. My mom felt the need to spoil the fuck out of me and my brother and pamper us, like trying to play the role of a father and a mother while trying to juggle this emotionally imbalanced relationship, this toxic relationship, having to maintain her, like put her own feelings at bay to cater to other people, not just like my father, but to her children as well. So I will say I was a very spoiled brat as a teenager. I was very in hindsight, I'm so aware of it. I was a fucked up teenager. But then again, I mean, I guess it's maybe just a rightful way of passage. Like a lot of teens are fucked up, spoken brats and shit. That's fine. I get that to an extent. However, I am fully aware that I was a brat. I was so spoiled as a teenager. My mom worked really hard to give me and my brother everything, even more than what we needed, in order to kind of she really coddled the fuck out of us. And I feel like that in itself has stunted my growth as an adult. And it's so embarrassing to say. Even when I started therapy 2 years ago, having the thoughts with my therapist, like, I feel like I want to be a child so bad. Like, I want to go back to my childhood and in such an uncomfortable, cringy way. Like, I'm yearning for my childhood because it's, well, for one, so fresh in my mind. Two, I just really, really miss being so comfortable in that necessary delusion, I guess. That's really weird to say. I don't know. I missed that at the time. I yearned for it. Like I feel really gross saying it. I don't like that I felt that way. But I did. I felt that way. I felt it. I really yearned for that time. I don't yearn for that anymore. I'll say that. However, yeah, my mom felt the need to really coddle us and spoil us. And I do believe as an adult that really did stunt my growth as an adult. When I was going into therapy, I felt insecure because, well, many things. But for one, I don't feel like I am where I should be as an adult right now. I don't feel like an adult. I feel like I'm like playing an adult in like a Lifetime movie. Like this is embarrassing. I feel so embarrassed. And even going into relationships and shit too. I'm like, oh, being in my late 20s and I'm like, oh, I don't have a car. I still live at home with my family. But then peeling back the layers, at the end of the day, of course, like I could be doing so much better. Everybody could be doing so much better. For me specifically, I just could not afford to live by myself. Even with my partner, if we both had full-time jobs, we would still struggle. That's just the state of the world. I have to be kind to myself. I have to give myself some grace because for one, I'm aware of it. And two, I'm just trying the best that I can right now. So I'm I'm good there to an extent. I I feel embarrassed. I feel sad. I feel like my mom tried so hard to spoil us with all these things and all this stuff, and she worked so hard. And it makes me sad that for one, she didn't take the time to acknowledge her own feelings. And I think that secretly, and I could be wrong, but I feel like secretly she holds it against us, holds it against me at least, or she unintentionally holds it against us. I know she holds it against my dad. I know my mom's struggling really hard too. I don't blame her. I really don't. I love her so much. I don't defend it, but also it's weird to acknowledge it and see it and just feel like, okay, growing up, I thought my family was decent growing up. I thought me and my brother and my parents, like, I thought we were okay. Like, I thought that was normal. Watching my parents fight all the time, feeling it in my chest, my mom being so anxious and like worried about my dad. We would go out together. My mom and I would go grocery shopping or do something so mundane and then be worried, okay, I can't be out too long. I have to worry about your dad. I have to worry about your dad. Always worried about my dad to really a crippling degree. Worried about what he would say, worried about what he would think. When I had problems or concerns or I wanted something or I wanted to do something, her trying to steer the conversation because she was too afraid to ask my dad herself. Living in constant fear, living in constant, like, on edge at home, it always felt like a held breath because my dad was just not a good father. My dad is very emotionally unavailable. I feel like my dad exhibits a lot of narcissistic behavior. My father does not know how to take accountability. He doesn't have the ability and doesn't want to understand what other people are feeling. He only cares about what he feels and what he wants. And maybe, I mean, I guess maybe that comes from the culture of like the father being like machismo or whatever, and the unhealthy mindset of, oh, the father's always right. The father's always right. But that's not real. That's not the reality. I feel like a lot of the insecurity and people-pleasing mentality that I have comes from, one, my dad being awful to my mom, and then two, my mom feeling the need to cater to him emotionally, and then three, me just absorbing everything in and thinking that's normal. Lately, it's been fucking breaking my heart to look back. I try really hard not to think about my childhood, and it's not because I'm ignoring it or because I'm uncomfortable with it, but like, I'm not trying to ignore what happened in my past. I accept it for what it is, but it's so heartbreaking at times when I think about the state of my family dynamic now. So I've chosen to not stay in contact with my father. I honestly should just dedicate a whole episode to this man because like that's a whole can of worms. But as of right now, I have no contact with him. My older brother, I choose not to engage with him because one, he doesn't have a phone, and two, he's been really awful to me and he's caused a lot of trauma in my life. And he's also been really awful to my mom. But I think now in the present, so I reflect back on my family dynamics and how things were growing up because it's made it very obvious, okay, this is why I am the way I am now. And I think I forget that when I'm in the moment. I wouldn't even know if I say I hurt somebody, but a really good friend of mine who I love and respect so much was telling me that I did something that made them feel a certain way, and they're totally valid to feel that way. And I completely get where they're coming from. But the need inside of me to try to fix it and well, for one, I validated them and I completely understood where they were coming from. I wasn't coming from a defensive place of, oh, you're wrong. It wasn't that. I totally get where they're coming from. And I love them so much. And I don't want to do that. I want to be honest, but my chest got tight. I felt the need to over-explain myself and over-explain what I was feeling and what I knew, and almost kind of made it a bigger deal than what it really needed to be. And I don't know if that's me not being able to handle conflict or confrontation. I think that's just me wanting to be understood. And I talked to my partner about this too. Like, do you think I handle conflict well? He's like, no, I think you handle conflict very well. I just think that it's like you need to be understood, or you're wanting to explain. I think that just comes down to insecurity. Like, you're right. You're right. I think that's fair to say. I don't mean to be defensive. I don't mean to do the awful things that I do now as an adult. However, I hate that this trauma and this unhealthy take. I hate that this unhealthy take is like coded in my DNA. It's so frustrating. I fucking hate it, dude. I'm gonna say no, I hate it. I really hate it. I want to be better. I know better. Like, I can, oh God. It just fucking sucks, dude. It sucks. Of course, I don't blame my mom. My mom has her own traumas, and I understand why she felt the need to do what she did, during that time. It doesn't excuse it. I don't excuse her in any way, but also I actually had that conversation with her too. We were talking about my brother. She thinks she asked me something to the effect like, when does it not become my fault? When does it not become a me thing? And I told her, here's the thing, Mom, is I don't blame you. I have a very, very profound understanding of, like, 1, your childhood, 2, your trauma, your upbringing, 3, the relationship between you and my father. I have a massive, uncomfortable understanding of everything that's happened, so I get why you've done what you've done and why you are the way you are now. However, you did pass on a lot of, 1, your insecurities onto us, 2, your coping skills and your coping mechanisms, 3, the way you navigate relationships and how you feel the need to, like, cater to your partners emotionally and how you have to put them before yourself. That's carried on to me as well. And I've seen it. It's something that I'm still trying to work on. However, when it doesn't become your fault is when look at me, I'm a grown man now. I'm 33 years old. When it doesn't become my mom's fault is when we can literally have this discussion. When we can sit down and she can ask me, when is it not my fault? I'm like, well, right now. Because for 1, you're asking me, and then 2, I'm acknowledging and validating you, but also telling you that it's not your fault because I'm an adult. I'm here. I don't even know if that's the right thing to say, like, because I'm an adult. No, because I'm in a place where I can tell that that's not healthy. Some people haven't gotten to that point yet, and some people probably won't get to that point. Look at my father. He's like, what, 60? I have no idea how old he is. He's old as fuck. And he hasn't gotten to that point where he realizes that his behavior, everything he's done is wrong. Some people just won't get there. Some people do. I don't know if my brother's gotten there yet. I hope he does. I really hope he does. But it's kind of weird to look back. It's weird to look back and think, oh, I do the things I do now, and I feel and I process, I navigate relationships, friendships, or whatever it is. The way I do it now is kind of reflective on how I was raised. I still don't know if that's the right way to say it. Oh, well, I'm just saying the thing. I'm noticing the things, and I just want to talk about it. I think I've said what I wanted to say for now. But yeah, I guess, hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Please See Above podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Eric Appleseed. I'm Eric Ornelas, the creator, executive producer, and host of Please See Above. This podcast is recorded in Glendora, California. Music is by Juan Avitia. Be sure to check out new episodes every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.